All right, so welcome to ZAP, the two-player card game where this game is about memes and electricity. We have our two competitors here today. And first, to start off the game, well, this is how you set it up. So you would have this game mat and then your dice and your cards. So to start the game off, both players will roll to see which deck they pick. So now you will roll. And whoever gets the highest number will pick whatever deck they want. All right, so since he won the roll off and picked his deck first, he will go first. Now, to start off the game, each player will draw 5 cards. Now, in this phase, this is called the charge phase. Now, in this phase, you can only play up to 2. You must play 2 cards that are draw, recovery, restore, or wild cards. And since the first player went first, he will play first.
I'll play reality action disappointed to draw 0 cards. And I will return 1 card to the deck.
All right, his turn's over. Now, the second player will go.
Alright, so you're returning 3 cards to the deck.
Now, after the charge phase, the zap phase begins. And in this phase, you will play you have to play 3 cards that are zap, deflect, or wild cards. And you can play them in any combination you want. And you will also be careful to choose which card you want to go first to go against the other player's first card, and second card, and third card. Now, as you can see, the players both didn't have enough zap, deflect, or wild cards to play, so they have to play what they already have. And now the phase will be resolved from each card individually.
Take 2 zap damage.
So since he didn't have another card in his second card slot, he takes 3 zap damage. And once this happens, we go back to the charge phase, and both players must draw back up to 5 cards if they don't have 5 cards in hand. Note that you can have only up to 6 cards in your hand, and if you have 7, you must discard that 7th card before the zap phase begins. For every wild card, there is a dice roll, which is why you have another dice. And whatever you get, if you get evens or odds, it depends on whichever you get for the effect. Player 2 has played a recovery card, therefore he can pick any card into this card pile, return it to the deck, and then shuffle it. All played cards must also then go to the discard pile, unless you have a wild card that will take the place of a zap card or a deflect card. Once both players get done with the charge phase, they must both declare that they're ready for the zap phase.
So that's 1 zap damage. Is that a deflect?
It is a deflect, 3 deflect.
Alright, I have to deflect 2 zap damage.
And we both take 1.
Yeah.
With recovery cards, you will heal your health points, but if you're at max HP, you only get one of these to represent that you've overhealed, therefore you will have 7. But if you are at 6, or if you're anywhere below 6 and heal 2 points, you will then get that 1 point. But it doesn't matter what points you get, so even if you get 2 points of health, you will always get 1 if you're at 6. So the maximum health you can have is 8.
That please?
Yep.
Ready?
Yep. No.
Is that 1 zap damage? 3 deflect.
What was that?
And 2 zap damage.
And I would heal 3.
So you go back to 7.
Yes.
Alright.
That's wild.
And this is how the 2 phases work. And then now we're gonna go into the in-game feature of this game. So one in-game feature is, you beat the opponent by reducing their health to 0. But there's another scenario where, in case both players run out of cards to play, so they will be forced to play in a ZAP phase, and they will play everything they have, like they have already. Now they will then proceed to resolve in the ZAP phase.
Alright, ready?
Yep.
2 deflect.
Lose that damage.
Alright. Alright, ready? Two zap damage.
Alright. 1 deflect. So 1 damage.
One zap damage.
3 deflect.
Now once this happens, these cards are out of play, and to determine the winner, they will have the point value of their cards in their hands and tally them with the amount of health they have left.
Alright. So I have 3,
1,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
4, 7.
So this player wins because all his cards added up equals 8, and you unfortunately lost by 1. And that's how you play out.